King Games here with some fresh Palworld content. At the time of this video, I've hit 200 hours in this game, and while I haven't done everything, I have learned a lot, and I want to share something with you all that you might not know. I'm sure by now, many of you will be of the opinion that player damage is a completely useless stat, as each point spent only increases the total by 2 points, making it difficult to reach big numbers without sacrificing important stats like weight or HP. But what if I told you that's not quite true? Big shout out to Krush SG. His video helped me understand how damage works in this game, and he breaks it down much more than I plan to in this video, so I'll leave a link in the description and you can go check it out. Player damage is actually a percentage of the base damage you do, which is calculated from a number of things, such as whether the target is a boss or alpha and the kind of weapons you're using, and then player damage is applied after. What this means is that if you are using legendary weapons, attack pendants, the vanguard, passive skill, and partner skills that increase player damage, you get much more bang for your buck for each point spent in attack. I've prepared some pre-recorded footage of some testing I did so I can pull up a spreadsheet and get some average damage numbers. This way we can see just how much difference all the attack buffs make. After that, I'll show you what that looks like in action against a high-level boss. Alright, so I think it's important to show you guys the settings first. So regardless of anything else, the damage to and from pals is at default, and so is the damage to and from players. So I've got a mod that lets me jack everything up if I want to, but those two I never mess with. So start the game up, and it bothers me that the little dots aren't spinning here. I don't really know what was going on there. Be nice if they'd add some loading screens or something, you know. And we have life very soon. I suppose I could cut this out, but Alright, so I got my little base set up. Alright, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to take 10 shots with the same weapon. You see I've got no point spend anything to start with. And no pals in the party, so I've got no buffs from anything. Alright, and the reason I'm using the crossbow is it's going to be a lot easier to see the damage numbers. And the slow rate of fire is going to give me plenty of time to record that in my handy dandy spreadsheet. Alright, so let's hit play. Oh, hold on. Oh, that is 662, so hold on. I gotta explain something else. The first column is with 100 attack and no bonuses. Then what we're gonna do is 100 attack with 2 attack pendants and 5 pals in the party that all have vanguard. And then what we're gonna do is all of that, but one of those pals is going to be a Robin Quill, rank 4, because its partner skill has you do more damage to weak points as long as you have it out, like fighting with it. So I just want you to see the difference all this makes and how much damage you can do. And I'm going to use the same weapon so that you have it's easier to compare it to. Alright, so that's 662 for the first one. 667. 775, 698, 721, 723, 763, 715, 688, 665. All right, so that's an average of 707. Pendants. Let's go get the stuff out of the box. Right, it doesn't really matter which pals it is, as long as they all have vanguard. This will work. I don't know if I'm gonna go back in and yep. So now instead of 100, we're looking at 180 on the attack stat. So that's 15 for each level 2 pendant. You know, the basic one is 5, plus 1 is 10, and then the plus 2 is 15. So 2 of those for 30 and the 50 from 10% for each vanguard of the 5 pals. That's why we got the 180. So let's see what the difference is here. $13.26, $13.43, $12.08, $12.95, $13.43, $12.57, $12.09, $14.04, $13.92, $14.04. All right, that's like doubling our damage. Easy. Right, and so we get this to rank 4 because that makes it deal a lot more, right? Level 5, rank 4, whatever you want to call it. Right, and you just release them. That's all you got to do. 1906, 1976, 2036, 1753, 1995, 1862, 1869, 1720, 1919, 1884. All right, let's talk about that. That's a massive increase. We're talking almost 3 times as much damage for doing all that. Now, it does take up your whole party, right? But it's just having one passive, right? And Vanguards, I think, is fairly common, easy to get. So that's up to you to decide if it's worth doing all that without any investment into your attack skill. Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the pendants off, put all the pals away, and then I'm going to spend 50 of those, or 25 of those points to get a 50% boost to the attack stat itself. And then I want you to look at the damage numbers in the different categories. All right, so let's play. And then doing this because you would probably still want to save some points to put in the HP for combat, right? That makes sense. $1,002, $11.74, $11.49, $11.62, $10.95, $10.80. 48, 1090, 1000, 1153. All right. Now, I think people are going to have differing opinions here, of course, but personally, I think that already is probably worth it. I probably wouldn't be using a crossbow. I'd be using something like a shotgun, assault rifle, or I don't love rocket launchers, but I understand they do a lot of damage, and that's probably worth it. But that's about a 400, it's almost double just from that, right? So now we're going to see what it looks like when you bring out all the pals. Let's keep going here. $50, $39, $56, $1896, $1930, $1956, $1964, $2116, $2170, $2119. Okay, that's pretty good damage. Pretty good damage. We're going to see what it looks like when you almost max this out. I have those burgers in my inventory, but I haven't used them. So here we go. 2837, 2952, 2639, 2749, 2938, 2972, 3002, 2656, 2948, 2958. Okay. So honestly, I think this is a little ridiculous, right? Because we go from no investment, about 700 damage per shot, up to, if you max this out, like I'm not even talking about maxing out your attack stat, I'm just talking about doing what I think is a reasonable amount to go farm some bosses, and then tailoring your party to what you're about to be doing as well. And was that 4 times? That's 4 times the damage. So I'd say it's not useless at all, right? You don't get nearly as much of a difference between, just the stat itself. But once you include all the vanguard, the pendants, and it's going to be between Robin Quill Terra, and then both Van Worm and Van Worm Crisp do that while you're mounted on them, as far as increasing your damage to weak points. So I don't think this is going to be very viable early to mid game, just because you don't have the points to invest, and you probably won't have all the different sources for attack. But once you start breeding and you're, flying around the map and collecting chests and doing dungeons and getting all these treasures and stuff, so mid to late game, I'd say levels, I'd say 40 to 50, honestly, where you can afford to get some of those memory wipe potions, dump most of your points into attack and HP, and then go farm bosses for a while before you reset. I think that's super viable. But let's probably skip ahead here to the point where I get loaded up and then I go fight this boss. So just so you can see how that goes. Alright, so here we are, everybody with Vanguard. I don't think I go into my inventory here, but should have shown it earlier. I'm using the shotgun, if I didn't mention that. Alright, here's my stats here. I'll probably have to pause it then. Alright, but guys, I'm just going to tell you now, this is absolutely ridiculous. I was not expecting this when I started this. Alright, oh, and we're going to eat the burger too. Yeah, so just another 20% on top of that. See, this is already at half. Actually, I need to move this because I don't know what my health is at here. Alright, so that was pretty simple, right? Straightforward. I mean, like there's nothing to it. Hardly even needed the help from the pals. But I do have a mod that lets me reset the bosses, so I'm going to do that. Just so you know it wasn't a fluke, like a one-time thing. I'm just going to do it again. Just drop the pal, right? Anytime, pal? Go. Oh, we have to do that from on top of him, right? Jesus. Okay. Before he can even get an attack off. Like, that is insane damage. Right, I think we're going to do it at least one more time. That's not the one we want. We just want to do it right here. He's trying to protect his face. It's not working. It's not working at all. Oh, beautiful. That might be it. I don't know if I do it one more time or not. No, and I'm going to back out here so you guys can, I'll go back into the settings so you can see I didn't change anything in between. Back into the lab. And there we are. Settings exactly the same as they were. So then test it for yourself, guys. I mean, it may be hard to get a hold of the stuff, but I promise you, you put in this this effort into it, you'll get similar results. Alright guys, I hope you learned something from that if you haven't done the testing for yourself, which I fully encourage you to do. If you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to help the channel grow, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.